Hello, and my name is Anand. Yes, in this Amazon Web Services training, I would be discussing about the lab, especially the lab on Linux instance. So, what you are going to learn is first step. You are going to learn about how to create a Linux, typically a Red Hat Linux instance, and also we will see how you can log in with help of the keys which you have generated. Okay, second step, we will also try to learn how to create a website on the launched instance which is there. The third step, we will also learn about how to create a volume and attach to this Linux instance. The fourth and fifth step are very important, especially as a backup process, like taking a snapshot for the volume of the created one, and also the image backup, which we also call as the Amazon machine image AMI. And with the help of that, after creating this AMI, we will also launch a similar server, Linux server, and verify this thing. This is all which we are going in this lab. Please practice multiple times till you get confidence. This is very important, especially when you are deploying a server, a Linux server on the cloud. First most important thing which I wish to say, if you know how to launch a RHEL or RHEL server, you can also try the same on Amazon Linux also. It works more or less the same. Okay, so now quickly let me move ahead to the console of this particular one. Like this is the services. In this services I am selecting this EC2, and by default I am selecting this North Virginia, which has 6 availability zones. Okay, so here in this I do not have any currently running instances. So the first thing what I am going to do as a first step, I am going to launch this instance. So these are the publicly available Amazon images which are there, which can be used for our server creation. But please remember, since we are in free tier, we have to select only the free tier images, otherwise there will be some charges which will be occurred, and this is available in the Amazon website. Okay, I am selecting this first step as RHEL image, and by default I am going to select this T2 image EC2 configuration, which contains 1 CPU and 1 GB of memory. Okay, configure this instance, and here don't change any of these parameters, just select this subnet as 1A for my recording. Even if you leave it as it is, it's okay. So specifically I am selecting this subnet as 1A now, and optionally if you want to write any startup script, you can write it here itself at this location. But anyway, I am going to do for the first time manually. So let me add this storage now. This is by default 10 GB with 100 IOPS. Please don't change this any of these parameters. If you change this, then again there will be some charges occurred. And IOPS is nothing but input output operations per second, which will drastically, if the more the IOPS, the more the performance. Add tags, leave it as it is, configure the security group. Since we are ready to create even the HTTP, I'll add this port. This is nothing but like a firewall. What are all the ports which I should open for this server? So by default it is SSH is open. Now I am even opening this port 80. For all 0.0 means any members. If you are specific with only a particular subnet or an IP, you have to specify at this location. So now you can say review and launch. So here it is showing this the default what all we have selected ones. So security groups, instant details, and of course you can see the storage, and of course the tags, everything. Just say launch. So here I don't have any security keys. What I am going to create a new key pair. Okay, if you are already having that, you can make use. So I will say AWS Linux. So it is downloading into my desktop. Okay, so this is launch instance. The first step is getting through. Yes, it is successful, initiating the launch. You can see, verify this launch log. It is successful. Now go to the instance log. Yeah, the bottom one. This is the server which we are doing now. Okay, pending. Okay, so if you wait for a minute or 2 minutes, the server will be coming to running state. Please ensure it is running, and status checks also will be done after when the status comes to running. So it will take a couple of minutes. It is basically a health check where it does all the routines and it verifies whether any issues are there during startup or while running. So now let me select this particular instance. Even I can give a name to this particular one. I can say relate, and this is not host name, this is only an identity, a tag, SRV or something like this. I can do SRV and say save. Okay, so this is done, and once if I select this, I can even go to instance summary. I can just drag a little bit up. So this is my public IP, you can see here. Okay, just copy this, As of now, the server is running. What you can do, the next step is that you can download PuTTY in order to access this server using SSH. So PuTTY can be downloaded very easily, like you say PuTTY download and say just this particular one, click this. It should not be more than 1 MB of size. Okay, just download this putty.exe, just click this. It will be downloaded to your downloads folder. And along with this, I suggest one more thing, because we need to convert the keys also. The PuTTY-gen also needs to be downloaded. Just download this. So this will be about 1 MB, I think. This will also be less than 1 MB. So thing which we use for PuTTY-gen is basically to manage the keys. The key which we have downloaded, awslinux.pem, is a complete private key. Using this private key, we need to generate or convert this public private keys, which is also called as the PPK. So this PPK will be helpful for us to log in. Remember, Linux server in Amazon AWS cannot be launched without this public private keys. Okay, so I have this keys which has been generated. Now I need to access, but first thing is that I need to run this PuTTY-gen. So I'll run this PuTTY-gen. So here what I'm going to load this private key which is there in my downloads folder. So I'll say ***. So here this is the key file which has been downloaded while creating. Yeah, you have successfully imported the foreign key. That's good. So okay, and save this private key. This private key contains private plus public key also, which is called as PPK. Rest all things no change. So yes, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this PPK on my desktop. I can say awslinux.ppk or awslinux1.ppk, some file, different identity. Just say save. It is done. It is done. Now go to PuTTY, run this PuTTY. Okay, just select this IP address which you already selected. Okay, and then you have to specify the key file. Without this you will not be able to log in. So what I am going to do here, I select this key file which is there on my desktop, awslinux1, and say open. Okay, so the default user for Amazon Linux is, I mean whether it is RHEL or Amazon Linux, it is EC2-user. Okay, so you have successfully logged in. You can see this one. This is, you have successfully logged in. You can even verify etc. What we can call as Red Hat release. This is 8.3, the latest release which is available. Okay, so with this we have completed the first task, which is creation of instance and logging in. This is done. Now we will move ahead to do the second task, which is creating a website on Linux instance. So since we have already logged in, what we need to do, we need to follow some important steps here. So okay, I have given the steps of how you can create the web server. So the first step is that sudo yum install. You can either say httpd asterisk. Okay, if you want to say -y, you can do, otherwise it will ask for an option of -y. So it is doing an update of the repositories. It will take just a minute's time. So once this is done, it will also try to install this HTTPD web packages. Okay, so this is about and also a dependencies. Is this okay? Yes. Okay, so this first step of installation is done. So sudo systemctl. So remember that, please give this sudo before you issue the command. Okay, start HTTPD. It has started. You can verify the status also. Systemctl status HTTPD. It should show you yes, it is active running. If you want to keep in startup, what you can do, systemctl enable HTTPD. Yes, it I need to give this sudo. Okay, the command is correct, but only thing sudo. Yes, it has created a startup link. That's fine. Now the website is ready. What you can do is now you can even go to var www.html and create vi sudo vi index.html. So here you can specify the script. So HTML, or you can even copy paste also if you want. So here so you can even write your own script or just copy paste h1 line equal to center. I can say hello world. I can say slash h1. These are the tags, and I can give break and horizontal ruler. Done. So now what we can do, we can verify whether my website is running properly or not. So what I am going to do, I will just copy this IP address. This is my instance summary. Okay, already it is copied. Paste it in the tag. Yeah, hello world. So in this way you can create your website. Okay. So with this, I think we have completed this second task. Okay. Now we will try to learn about how to create volume and attach to this Linux instance. So this is a very, very important step. What we are going to do is that since we have this server, so if you do not want to work on sudo, what you can do once and for all, sudo su-u, you will be prompted with hash prompt here. You can see. Okay. So let me check. fdisk-l will display the entire partition table. You can see here, as of now, we have only 10 GB with A1 and A2 partitions. Now we are going to create a disk, or we are going to create a disk, and then we are going to attach to this particular instance using this AWS console. Okay. So here I go to this console. I will close this tab. I will go to this console and then scroll down. Here in volumes, I am going to create a volume. This 10 GB which is there, which is used for the operating system. Now create a volume. Ensure that the volume should be in the same availability zone of the server. This is the only basic thing. So don't create volume with 100 GB. Create with 1 or 2 GB. That is enough for our testing purpose, because if it is 100 GB, then it doesn't come under free tier. You may be charged. So since my zone is 1A, I am going to create it only in 1A. That's all. Create a volume. Done. So you see this. Refresh this. You should be able to see this 2 GB volume. See this 2 GB. Now it is in available. So select this volume. Okay, select this volume and attach to this server. So I am going to attach to this instance. Since I have only one running instance, I can attach, otherwise I have to copy the instance ID. Say attach. Okay, in use. I mean, this is now attached to this particular instance. Once this scrolling, I mean, once this is done, you can see which should be attached to this one. The same command I am going to run once again, but now you see with a difference, like 2 GB also has been attached. Earlier we have only XVDA1, XVDA, now we have XVDF. Okay. So now how to create a partition? Okay, fdisk/dev XVDF. Please remember, both should be same. Okay, select this. P for printing the partition table. Now nothing is there, so create N for new, create a new partition. P for primary 1. Okay, if you want to use the first sector, if you want to create 1 GB, I can say 1G. No, I do not want, I want to use the entire one. You can make use the entire partition, and done. Verify. Yes, this 2 GB partition is available for, and this is the logical unit number of /dev XVDF1. So if you are happy, just write. Done. Now inform the kernel using this partprobe command. Partprobe /dev XVDF. This is the disk basically. Once you have done this, yes, it should not return with any errors. It should return with a hash prompt. Done. Now you format this partition using XFS, mkfs dot xfs /dev XVDF1. Okay, so we are formatting this using XFS formatting. Yes, it is done. Extended file system, this is done. So here I am going to create a wall directory, where I am going to mount this particular partition which has been newly created. Okay, I can verify df-h. You can see this existing, there is nothing which is there. Now I am going to mount /dev XVDF1. This is the newly created partition on wall. So it should return with df-h. You can see this 2 GB is mounted. So if you want to make this as a startup, you can even go to vi etc fs tab and make an entry. So at the bottom, okay, you can make it as /dev XVDF1, which is mounted on wall, and you can say XFS and say defaults and say 0 and say 0. The 6 entry should be there. Once you have done this, done. You can verify mount -a. Should return without any errors. This is how you can make use of creation of partition and mounting on this. So with this, what we have created the volume and attached Linux instance is done. It's done. Let me go ahead with the fourth step, taking a snapshot, and again how you can restore or create a volume using the snapshot. Okay, so I am going to the EC2 dashboard. So this 2 GB I will create a snapshot. So how to take a snapshot? Go to select the volume which you want to create. Remember, snapshot doesn't have any availability zone. It is applicable to the entire region. So create a snapshot. That is enough. Okay, just create a snapshot. The snapshot is succeeded. You can see, close. In snapshots, you can see it's pending. It will take a couple of minutes time to complete. So the progress bar also is shown here. So just refresh, you will be able to see this 100%. Now yes, this snapshot is done. Now go to volumes. What I am going to do now is this: the existing volume I am going to destroy, or first I am going to detach. So yes, see, once this, so okay, once this is detached, it will be in available state. So you see this, sudo su hyphen fdisk -l should not display this XVDF partition. It is unavailable, And also what I can do, since I have taken the snapshot, I can even delete this volume. I will delete this disk 2 GB I have deleted. So once after detach and delete, you can verify whether the disk is present. Like I can give fdisk-l. Now the disk is not present, only xvda is present. Okay, so what I can do now is like I can even you create the new volume using the snapshot. Since I have the snapshot of 2 GB, what I can do using the snapshot, I can create a volume. Ensure that whatever volume you are creating should be in the same availability zone. So okay, and I can select this as create volume. So action is done. So close. So you can see this volume is created using the snapshot. Go to the dashboard. Yes, it is available. So here I am going to attach this volume to this instance. Yes, since I have only one volume, I am able to, otherwise I had to copy the instance ID. So once the circling is over, you can see this volume is attached to this particular instance. So let me verify whether I am able to get my volume back. So here fdisk-l should show my partitions. Yes, it has shown. Okay. So now I can even do mount-a. Okay. df-k. You should be able to see your volume back. You can see here /wall and ls. You can see all the if you have data also, the data will be restored as it is. In this way, you can create a volume. After creation of volume, you can create a snapshot, and with the help of snapshot, you can restore your volume back, your volume data. So this is about my third, this is the fourth one, which is done, Now the last one, and again the most important one, which is how to create a machine image, and with the help of that machine image, how you can launch a different server. So here what you can do is just go to instances which are running. You go to the EC2 dashboard. So there is one instance which is running. So select this instance which you want to create machine image. So under actions, go scroll down, image templates, and create an image. So you can give image name. I'll say rel 8 Anand image. I can give whatever is the name which I want, and if you want, you can add the volume also, so that by default along with that the 2 GB also will be created. Okay, so I am not going to add now, and just say create image. So it will take couple of minutes because the 10 GB of data needs to be backed up. So successfully created. How you can verify? Go to AMI. So in that AMI dashboard, you can see this is getting created. It will take some time for this entire image to be created. So once you have an image, so okay, after a period of about 5 to 7 minutes, yes, this has been created. This image has been created. You can see this. So now you can check using this what we call as AMI's dashboard, and you can see the existing volume also for the previous server, and you can see the snapshots. You can see these are all one snapshot is created. And now what I am going to do, with help of this image, I want to create a second server of the similar instance. So I can say launch with this help of image, and I have to select a similar configuration, and I am selecting that. So I can launch this one in a different subnet. I will try to launch in 1C, okay, in a different availability zone. Add storage, the same one, 10 plus 2 GB, which is the earlier one. Configure the security group, and you can add the rule to add all HTTP. Yes, review and launch. This is the launch button. select this AWS Linux, the key file, and say launch. Okay, so this is now getting ready. You can see this view instances in the instance dashboard. It's pending. Just try to refresh. Once this is done, you can see it is running also. So meanwhile, you can copy this public IP. Exactly same to same the servers will be. This is running. So now let me try to log in into this server. Okay. So I'll just copy this new IP which is there and also give my key file. Say open. Yes, I should be able to log in. Okay, you can also check. Yes, the volume of 2 GB also is available. Okay, sudo fdisk-l should see this with the entire data as. So this is my first one, and if I try to go ahead for the second one, I try this particular IP. Where is my IP? This is my IP. Our website also should be running. Yeah, both of them are running. In this way, what you can do is that once you have this image AMI, once you create this AMI, you can launch another Linux server easily. So with this, we have done all these 5 elements. So first is that we have created a Linux server, and then we try to create public private keys, and we have logged in. This is first. And then we have created HTTPD on the Linux instance. Later, we have created this volume and attached to the Linux instance. Okay, we verified. We can add data also as needed. Take a snapshot for the volume. And after that, what we have done is that we have deleted the existing volume which is mounted, and then we created a volume using the snapshot. Okay, so after that we verified everything remains the same. The last one, the 5th step, what we have done is that we have created a machine image of the entire operating system, and then using that we have launched another Linux web server and another server. So with this we have completed this exercise. But before logging out, just ensure that remove of all the things which you have done. Otherwise, you will be landing up in paying huge money. Okay. So the first thing is that I can terminate the instance first. So terminate, it will take a couple of minutes. First one I have terminated. The second one also I am going to terminate. This terminate, if you are given in the startup settings, automatically it will destroy the volumes. So these 2 things should come for termination, because as of now it should be shutting down. Okay, so now go to volumes, or first AMI, and deregister this one. Deregister. Okay, done. Go to snapshots, remove all the snapshots which you have created. Okay, you say delete. Yes, delete. You can do one by one, or you can select also. Delete. Yes, this also I am going to delete. Don't forget to do this. And volumes, these are the created volumes. Delete this volume. Yes, delete. Okay, and also delete. Once the server is completely down, then only you can delete this. Deleting. Okay. No, nothing is there. No snapshot, nothing, no volumes. And you can see in the EC2 dashboard also, no running instances. Okay, that's all from me for this particular exercise, which we have covered more or less the essentials on Linux. So please practice couple of times. This will be helpful for you to get yourself acquainted. Thank you. Bye.